Here's your Backstage pass.
Quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Dog Group. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Shondra.
Welcome to all of you VIPs. You've got your Backstage Pass and you're in. That's right, you got in. Now get ready for some really great stories from my sponsor. One of my sponsors, Luke Sefton from Sefton Engineering is here. And also we have Julie Richard, the Executive Director of Sedona Arts Center. We're going to get to them in a minute, but I do want to tell you what's going on. And I'm going to just tell you something. I'm going to be straight up with you, okay? If you listened to last week's show, you're going to know that I am just now, and I'm going to announce this is a big deal, finished with our Weird Detention film shoot. I'm so excited about this. My creative partner, Deb Ross, and I, after 6 years, we finally did it. And we have spent the last 10 days in first rehearsals with our crew and our cast, and then, of course, the film shoot for 6 days. And we're done. But those days were 10-hour days and much longer being a producer. So please forgive me. I'm just going to tell you straight up, I don't have much to tell you about the events calendar. So we're just going to do what we do sometimes here, and I'm going to direct you to some web pages, some websites to give you all the information that you need to go find out what's going on here in Sedona. So you're kind of on your own again. Here we go. Make sure that you visit communitylibrarysedona.org because those folks over there at Community Library Sedona, they've got all kinds of great things going on. There's classes, there's different kinds of shows, events, all kinds of things going on. So take a look at their website and you'll see a calendar. There's lessons, by the way, Zumba, line dancing. Oh, it's fun, really fun. Also, SedonaFilmFestival.com. They are probably just getting ready, if they haven't already, because I've been busy with movies myself. They do movies on the move, where they're showing movies in different resorts like the Wild Resort and Base Camp and in different places around Sedona. Check it out, SedonaFilmFestival.com. If they've finished with their movies on the move, find out what they're doing because they've got theater productions now. They have events, concerts, and, of course, all those wonderful indie films they bring in. And then make sure you check out the Greater Sedona Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau's webpage is visitsedona.com/events-calendar. While you're at it, go ahead and check out their website. But that webpage is going to tell you about all the events that are coming up, especially in the fall and the winter, because after all, we are now moving very soon, moving into August and then right into the fall. Can you believe it? It's going by so fast. So now, I want to just thank everybody for tuning in. You know, this is so wonderful. I hear all kinds of great comments about the interviews and the guests. Some of my favorite guests are the sponsors that make this show possible. And I do talk about them because I am just truly grateful, really, like my guest coming up right now, Luke Sefton of Sefton Engineering. Thank you, Luke, for being a sponsor, but also thank you for taking your time out in your very busy day to come here and be a guest on this show to tell us about things that are happening, things that are coming up, crazy stories behind the scenes in this wild. I mean, for me, I don't know nothing about civil engineering, and I don't think many people do. And it's just fun to hear about what you're working on and what's happened behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, you make it so easy and fun, so I appreciate that.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you feel that way. Okay, so let's talk about some housing things that you're involved in and also some new things that are going to pop up here in Sedona. Like, for instance, I know that there is something brewing over there behind the Sedona Arts Center. Let's talk about that. And, you know, and everybody, just so you know, whenever Luke works on anything, they're always working to keep the environment intact as much as possible. Very different than other people who do construction and engineering and things. And so we're going to hear about something that's happening, and I think you're going to like this news.
Yes. So the owners of Ambiente, which we did as a landscape hotel, and we put the landscape architect first on it because that was the focus, was to protect the landscape.
And it is beautiful.
And it is, and it's been the Architectural Digest called it a game changer to resort design.
I love that.
They've never seen something like this. So.
Yeah, I remember when you were working on this, and before it even went into construction, it was already in Architecture's Digest.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Phenomenal.
Well, Mariposa was in James Beard, debuted at the James Beard House in New York City. Was the first time they ever did a restaurant that hadn't been open yet.
Isn't that incredible?
And part of that was that and Lisa's just outstanding reputation.
Yes, and Lisa is with the Doll Group, who is my presenting sponsor. So blessed to have her. And Chef Lisa is awesome. For those of you who don't know, she has 6 restaurants here. And you've been involved in all of the engineering on many of those, if not all of them.
Yep.
So let's get back to Ambiantes.
Yep.
And they're involved now with something that's happening behind the Sedona Arts Center.
Arts Center. There's about 17 to 19 acres back there. Most of it's on the other side of the creek, which is going to be left alone. But there was a development agreement that's been since the city was incorporated, and it was kind of updated over the years. But in there was actually a 5-story building with like 3 layers of parking.
Oh my goodness!
110 couple hundred apartments, condos, and another 100 that commercial restaurants, and they were on both sides of 89A.
Oh my goodness!
So
okay.
Mike looked at this and he goes, Ambiante has done so well, and we want to do the same thing there. So it's going to be 36 units. So that's a lot less than the 300 or so.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine if that had gone through?
Yes,
this would be World War III.
Well, yes,
yes. I
absolutely.
mean, people would have been understandable. That's a lot of units and a parking thing and a. Yeah. I mean, this would not make Sedona happy.
Yeah. And
Sedona residents,
but the city was obligated to it.
Whoa.
So that was part of it.
And when did that go into effect? That was actually planned when? Before they were actually incorporated?
Yes.
That goes back years ago.
So, yes. Mike Stevenson is he's very detailed, and he figured out that this was never rezoned. So it still had county zoning.
Okay.
And so technically you revert back to the original zoning, which would have been county. So that would have made a whole big difference. Okay. And so we negotiated with the city, and we want to put 36 units in there. His dad had Dutchman Cove restaurant there.
I wonder how many of you listening remember Dutchman Cove restaurant. I do not. And apparently Mike grew up here. And his dad had this restaurant, and it was taken down, right? Because of what, fire?
There was a fire, and there was some flooding and stuff like that. So
it had to go down.
It had to go down.
Right.
So when Mike and Kathy went off to the Army, he was in the Army and brought Kathy along. And I think Jen's the oldest, and she was just a baby. And so he came back and worked there as a cook. And Kathy was a server there for a long time, so he wants to bring back Dutchman Cove,
which is history coming back. And I think that's really cool. He's going to bring it back. It's just a nostalgia of old Sedona.
Yep. Yeah.
Can't be upset with that, guys. I mean, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's there, and there will be a parking lot there where the parking lot's at, so right behind, so that's going to be open to the public.
And that's where the parking lot is now?
It's going to be valet, but there's some parking there that's going to be there.
Okay.
We're working with the city for a creek walk, so you're going to come in, and Mike wants it elevated. So it's going to be up in the air because he doesn't want people to go out and make trails in the creek and disturb the landscape.
So he's being a good custodian of the land.
So yeah.
Good.
So eventually here I'll have to figure out how to get this all in there and make it work.
You are that problem solver, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're creative.
But I get people come up with ideas and we just figure out how to make that happen.
I love it. That's so awesome.
But it's going to be really neat. It's going to be another one, and it's right around the corner from my house. So I said there's going to be a little cart path that goes to my house. Because part of that was where Johnny Guitar was filmed.
Oh, tell me about
Ernest
that. Ernest Borgnine.
Yes, he was there, and underneath the highway right there's this rock cutout tunnel or drainage.
Oh.
And they still have the tin there over it because that was the hideaway for Ernest's silver mine. That was
in the
secret.
movie.
In the movie, so it shows him going up, and they had water falling over the exit. You couldn't get a horse through there, but movie magic.
Movie magic. You see, now I wonder. I'm gonna digress a little bit here. Let's talk about this. When movie sets go up, is there a need for engineering?
There can be.
Tell us about this.
I haven't done a whole lot of that.
I want to know about this because I think everybody would love to know. So there's engineering that happens on movie sets in which way?
Well, structurally, and of course, you got everything, but I have not been in that. But, Bob Bradshaw that was here.
Yes.
I mean,
John's father, everybody.
John Bradshaw's father. Of course, we heard that with all the different Westerns he did.
And there were so many.
And he built all the... We wouldn't want to see how they were built then, but...
Not by code, I'm sure.
Not by code, but
No.
They would build all those sets. So that's a little history there.
And so that is civil engineering?
Construction, the framing. It's not so much as the engineering, but if there was something out of the ordinary, they would bring in a structural or somebody to...
Would you ever want to do that? Would you ever want to work on a movie set?
Oh, that would be challenging.
Would it?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, just trying to figure out what they want, because it's a set.
Yes.
You're trying to do the set, and, I don't have a whole lot of imagination. So,
I don't know about that. I think you're creative as all get out. I mean, you have to come up with things where people go, yeah, I want to have a creek walk, but I want everything to be elevated. What?
Well,
I'd be
the buildings that I now own at the corner of Stutz Bearcat and 89A.
Yes.
And bought those from Dave Blauert, but they're the old Western properties.
Yes.
We actually have tours come by and take pictures.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm terrible with names and stuff, but Dave would say that it was the set designer for Disney.
Yes, I remember this
story. Yeah.
I do. He had met this gentleman. I think he was working on the Garland's building.
Yes.
By the roundabout, everybody, where 179 connects, over there by the galleries. A lot of galleries in there. And Garland's is right there. And he met this gentleman, and he worked for Disney. And he built sets and stuff.
Yes.
And then somehow, what were these? So where your office is, everybody, you have to know that Sefton Engineering, you can't miss it. It's right near the Golden Goose restaurant. Yes, they're wonderful people too. Great restaurant, everybody. But there's when you turn there, there's all these facades. It looks like an old Western town.
Yes,
almost. And that all came from movie sets.
Well, that's what the guy did. He designed movies.
Isn't that something?
He designed Disney sets at the parks.
Right.
So he designed all that, and he moved here. And then when they were doing Disney World, the Disney plane would come in at the Sedona airport, pick him up to take him to Florida.
Oh, that's
because
outrageous.
he was working on that design.
That's so funny.
But he wanted to build those buildings, and that's the way he built them.
Is it the truth that Disney lived here?
I don't think I
keep hearing
that.
I don't know if it ever happened. Sorry, I'm really digressing here from your stories, but you know what? It's your facades out there.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's amazing. It looks like an old Western town over there where your office is. So, okay, well, it will be fascinating to find out if you ever do get a gig engineering on a movie set.
Yes.
And then you would really have some stories for us, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, fingers crossed on that one.
Crossed.
Okay, so let's get back to this. So I know that it's going to be the landscape is going to be beautiful, everyone, and I don't want anyone to worry out there. I'm like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to the trees? What's going to happen? You go out of your way to make sure that things are preserved. Isn't that correct?
We try. It's always hard, but the Stevensons are very
they're nature
enthusiastic
lovers.
About that.
Yes.
And sometimes I gotta say, I'm sorry, but
I know that's hard.
But yeah, it is hard.
Stuff.
And it's hard to meet all the city codes,
of course,
and try to preserve things.
Yes.
So
I think it's going to be a good addition also for the Sedona Arts Center. Don't you
absolutely.
feel?
Yes, absolutely. It'll make that end of town really cool.
By the way, for those of you listening, if you've never been to the Sedona Arts Center, and those of you living here too, they've got great classes. I mean, fantastic classes, great exhibits. The first Fridays are wonderful themed art exhibitions. It's just fantastic. So anyway, okay, so that's going up in the back. And then also, this is really cool, you guys. Luke is working with John Bradshaw, and we were talking about Bob Bradshaw, his dad. John is doing something exciting for those people who are actually getting jobs here who can't find homes. Wasn't it true that our fire chief and at one point our police chief, they couldn't find a home?
All of them, yeah. Yeah, the school and our principals, and there's a lot of different, they couldn't find a place to live. The hospital has people that they can't find a place to live.
And that's because of?
Just trying to get things built. It takes forever. And also it doesn't matter what you do. You always get, everybody comes out. The NIMBYism. And then, and some of the overreach of regulations.
Yes.
It's really tied up development. And I know everybody goes, it's easy, evil developer, but, they create what we have to live in. We need that stuff, and everybody has a right to make a living.
Yes.
They don't have a right to be greedy, but they have a right to be, work with everything.
And just finding a home here, for those of you who reside here, we know that it's very difficult to rent here in Sedona. It really is. For those of you who are listening who don't reside here, it's just changed a lot here. So housing is super important to us. So tell us about what's going on.
So John, who has a lot of the Jeep tours and trolleys here,
yes,
he trains people to come in to work for him, and then they can't find a place to live.
And then again,
and then
public
they move
officials and hospital workers.
Yep, everybody, all
everybody.
of them. The hospital has that.
The teachers.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So he goes, well, I want to build this tiny village, and it would be temporary housing, month-to-month rent. And so employees that he has, or you have, or I have, it's open to everybody. But I got first choice, but no.
That was part of the deal?
Yeah. But, so that people have a place to stay, and they can find a place to live and still be able to make that transition. So this is over behind Jones Ford dealership.
I'm trying to remember where
that is. As you go out 260 towards Camp Verde, there's the two dealerships that are on the side. One's closed, one's
okay.
This is right behind one of the dealerships.
Okay.
And that's actually in Camp Verde.
And it's tiny homes.
It's tiny homes. They're 12 by 40 feet about. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's some duplexes, but there's some that'll be 2 bedrooms. A lot of 1 bedrooms and, studios.
Okay.
So kind of something small, and we're trying to we're working hard to make sure it's affordable.
That's good. That's so good, because there are workers coming in, and we need them. We've got to have them. We have to have our police force, our fire force, also hospital workers, like you mentioned, teachers, so important. And so that's going to happen. And is there any area here in Sedona that has tiny homes for rent? I'm just curious. Or in Oak Creek, Village of Oak Creek, or even up towards Flagstaff?
I did some up off of Thompson Road.
Oh, okay.
A couple there. I think there's 4 there now. But it was an old subdivision with a really small footprint. And so I had a guy that was really into tiny homes, and so we had to figure that out. I mean, that was challenging.
Just curious, I was curious to see what's going on with that. And then there has always been a buzz about Shelby, that area that might have some tiny homes or some kind of
that
housing?
Will be about 30 or 35 apartments.
Oh,
and it's going to be straight up. And so far, the council has voted on it and approved it.
There's some housing there for people that will be able to rent, correct?
Yes.
And that's so important. Gosh, it's so important.
And that's, hopefully we'll get the low-income housing tax credits for that.
And when you say that, and please, no one freaking out, because it just means affordable. It doesn't mean anything other than that. It means that, you can afford to rent. And because rent is so high here.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
You got, people that have cash can go in and buy the house because there's not other big homes that they would obviously buy and move into because there's no housing. They go into the other housing and they can pay cash. So a lot of we call it the missing middle. Because we got the low income housing tax credits and we got Habitat for Humanity and HUD and all those programs. But in the middle, the average person in work, the people that are getting squeezed and they can't now afford just their home.
That's right. And I thank you for helping, because you're very much involved in helping people in the community. So I want you to know that about Luke. When you hire Luke Sefton, you are hiring a community person, somebody who really cares deeply for where we are, specifically Sedona and the Verde Valley. And a matter of fact, I know that you have been doing all kinds of different things with the Yavapai Apache Nation. Absolutely. In Verde Valley, in the I should say Clarkdale, Camp Verde, other places.
Rimrock.
Yeah, and that is just awesome. You just showed me a video where there were some Native people blessing the land. Tell me about that, because that's behind the scenes. Nobody knows about this.
Yeah, so that was just happened a couple weeks ago. We just had the blessing of the current development. We're finished, and the groundbreaking for the next 40 homes. And it's going to include some transitional housing, but they were able to get low-income housing tax credit. And the Yavapai Apaches, I think, are the best in the country. I mean, other nations have tried to do what they're doing. They just got it.
It's wonderful.
And they got a great team to work with. And it's fun to work with them. We all work together.
It's great.
And so the one thing is that with that tax credit that's just finishing, there was another tax credit down the road that was private that got awarded at the same time. We have moved our last family into this development, and they're still putting the infrastructure in the other one because that's how fast we have to move. Well, that's how fast the nation. And I would get the plans out for the mass grading. So while they were doing that, then I'd come back and get the utilities. And it's a little stressful because you're kind of throwing some things out there, and hopefully you don't run into issues. But they're perfectly aware of that. But
okay, so I have to ask you, do you ever get stressed out? You're so easygoing. I want to know.
Oh, I do.
A lot of people want to know this about you because, you're so easygoing, and you come up with, you make it look so easy. You'll come up with a creative idea about how to make it work. Do you ever get stressed out? Do you ever wake up at 3 a.m. going, oh my gosh?
The last couple nights. That happens.
Okay.
That happens.
What do you do, by the way? Because I'm so curious. I wake up, now it's 2 o'clock all the time. What is that about? I mean, I don't get it. Am I that stressed out? Everybody's stressed out. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
And so, where does your stress come from?
I got, when I would give soldiers waiting to make sure, you put a plan together, you give it to your employees or you give it to your soldiers, and you got to let them do it. You got to get there.
Are you talking about the big word delegating?
Yes.
Delegating.
Yes. And it's extremely hard. Because I want to get in there and I would do it a certain way, and I got to accept that their way, or would be, then you're doing everything.
I know, and then nobody wants to do anything for you or with you because you're doing it all.
Yeah,
it's important to delegate.
And when I was in Desert Storm, I had an extremely stressful job, and most stress I've ever been under, and I would have to be, and you're trying to think of how to answer it. So, find a solution.
Yeah.
They had a Dairy Queen, and I would go down and get a banana split, and I would sit there and eat that banana split. And by the time I got to the office, I would have the answer.
Oh, I love it. So you would put yourself in the bliss zone, literally. I didn't mean to be, the Dairy Queen bliss thing, but you'd put yourself in the bliss zone and just let go, and the answer would come.
Yes.
I love that. Well, thank you, Luke, so much for being on my show and these great stories and giving us kind of the lowdown about what's coming
Yes.
And I think it's all good because we all need to have our workers have a place to live. You know, this has always been a big thing here. And well, it hasn't always been this way, but it is now. Mm-hmm. And so thank you for being part of the solution, coming up with things. And I just want to invite you back again next month. I'm so excited to have you back. Great stories. Luke Sefton of Sefton Engineering. If you need civil engineering, he is your man with his wonderful crew. They're fabulous. Okay, we're going to be right back. Stay with me.
You can taste it in every bite. For over 30 years, Chef Lisa Dahl has redefined what it means to dine in Sedona, serving soulful, handcrafted cuisine inspired by love, artistry, and community. From the wood-fired kitchens of Mariposa to the couture flair of Butterfly Burger, every experience is elevated, every ingredient intentional. To learn more about Lisa Dahl and the Dahl restaurants, please visit cheflisadahl.com.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Quicker Cleaner Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in just minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day. And look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit quickercleanercarwash.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Dahl Group.
Thank you for staying with me. Oh, you're going to love my next guest. I adore this woman. She is a powerhouse. Julie Richard is the Chief Executive Director of the Sedona Arts Center, better known as SAC. Some of you know it as SAC. Some of you, when I say that, you go, what? Anyway, it's Sedona Arts Center. And Julie has been the executive director since February 2nd of 2021. I hope I got that right. Welcome, Julie. I'm just so happy to have you here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, if people could see me, I'm like,
I know
using
you
my
are.
hands. You're looking at me like, OMG, what am I in for? You're in for fun. Some fun. That's right. Everybody's in for a big treat here. Can I just kind of, as we say, gavelle over you?
Sure.
Just a little bit. You have a Master of Arts degree, and you in business administration as well, yes? And also, that's from the University of Wisconsin, where you were born.
That's where I was born.
How long did you live there after you were born? I mean, were you...
I was there until I think I was like 25 or 26.
Oh,
and that's when I left. 25, I think.
Were you ready to get out of there?
Yes.
I'll bet. Okay, because that's a long haul to be in one place. You know, where you're born and you're like, we got to get out of Dodge here. No offense to Dodge. You also have a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology and music.
Yes.
That's interesting to me.
Yes. That kind of came about in a kind of a funny way. I started out as a voice major and realized about a year in, after my first year, that I really wanted to focus on something else. I didn't want to give up the voice, so I was going to continue on that, but double major in something else. So I explored some other things. My dad was a civil engineer, and of course he wanted me to be an engineer, so I actually took some industrial engineering classes and realized pretty quickly that wasn't for me.
Right.
And I'd always been interested in psychology all through... probably from the time I was in grade school, practically.
I would imagine that's, grade school. Wow.
Probably.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So did you want to be a psychologist? At six,
not
you
really,
knew,
no.
Right? No, you didn't
No,
want to.
So, true story, I wanted to be a Broadway dancer. That was my goal.
That was your goal?
That was my goal.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, so psychology was always of interest to me, and I didn't know if I wanted to be a psychologist, but I thought, this is interesting, and this could be a good general degree for whatever I ended up doing. And
you were thinking this at age 6?
And
I was thinking. I'm kidding you. I'm thinking to myself, wow, not only is she a powerhouse, she's a powerhouse child. You knew. No, so let me ask you this with voice.
Yes.
When did you know that you could sing?
I think it was probably church choir when I was just a little kid, and in grade school choir. And I was kind of singled out and urged along, and I started out playing piano, and then I started out playing trumpet. And
back up. Trumpet?
Trumpet.
You
I played
trumpet.
And I was a really good trumpet player.
Wow.
Like I was first chair in my first fifth grade band. So
Whoa.
I almost double majored in voice and trumpet in college.
That would have been a really great gig. Think about how many female trumpet players are there?
Not
Do we
too
know?
many.
No.
Not too many.
I don't know of any.
Yeah. I still have my trumpet, by the way.
Do you play?
I don't. I know.
You could have brought the trumpet.
That would have been really loud.
That's part 2. That's part 2. Yeah.
Next time. But anyway.
So you knew at 6 years old. You knew at 6, right?
Yes.
You're playing trumpet in what you said, grade school.
Grade school.
Okay.
And so that was kind of my first intro into music. But,
Okay.
and that's really what I was lifted up for mostly because I had, I was good at it. And so,
Wonderful.
the singing came along at the same time. And I started dancing when I was 3. So
Wow.
that was all part of, and I danced all the way through college and
Oh, that's
even
great.
graduate
So
school.
Are you talking about actual like ballet, things like that? Were you
Ballet,
taking-
jazz, tap.
Love it.
Yeah.
Winnie Munch was here.
I know she was.
Yeah, she was here last week.
I know. I
believe.
would have loved to have seen the.
Oh, you would have loved it. It
I
was
know.
incredible.
I love Ballet, Arizona.
Oh, let me tell you something. This was a whole retreat for 11 days.
I know.
Sedona Ballet. Wow.
Unfortunately, I was in Maine on vacation.
Yes.
So.
Was it good to be back in Maine?
My husband and I have both said that we're very privileged to live in the 2 most beautiful states in the country, Maine and Arizona.
So you have a place there.
We don't have a place there, but we go back there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So
and we have family back in the
that's
general
good.
neck of the woods.
That's
Yeah.
good. So you get back, you go back and
Yeah.
forth. That's wonderful. And now along the way, has the psychology helped you?
For sure. For sure.
So can you explain to people, I tell my students, write larger. Sometimes you get kids that come in and they're oh my gosh, the writing is like it's not even there on the page. You have to squint. I have to wear my glasses my reading glasses to see it. And now, isn't that important? Talk about this. When you are interviewing people, having a psychology major, and a lot of business people know these things, it's not only how you dress, it's how you hold yourself.
Yeah.
It's all of that, right?
Yeah. And I think for
Your
me,
writing?
it was more how people's minds work.
Ah.
So for me, that was always the interesting piece of psychology. And in my early days, I don't think I had a single job where I wasn't working with somebody who had a mental illness.
Wow.
And so much so, and sometimes it could be extremely disruptive for an organization. A lot of people think nonprofits are all volunteers and it's not a real job and all of that, but I beg to differ. And you're dealing with some pretty big budgets and you're dealing with some people with very big egos and a lot of issues. And so much so that at one point in my career, I actually was considering pursuing a degree in organizational psychology, a PhD actually in organizational psychology, just to kind of explore that further. And I was really going to focus on the incidence of mental health in the arts because it is really prevalent. So extremely creative people can actually be, they tend to have more prevalence of mental health issues.
Right. I think now it's more prevalent than ever.
It's possible.
And
it's
so
possible.
now I can understand this. When I was leading my own bands, I came across a book for 25 cents at the library in San Diego. And I bought that thing. It was all about leadership. And it talked about taking the time out to get to know how somebody hears something, how somebody, are they a listener? Are they more visual? All of those things. And it talked about the leadership and autocratic and democratic and all that stuff. It helped me so much. So psychology has to help you with the leadership.
Yeah, it's definitely tied into that. And I've gone through a couple of community and regional leadership programs over my history. And the interesting thing is they usually run you through some kind of a personality assessment, whether it's Myers-Briggs, which is sort of, it's been kind of like the gold standard, although a lot of people don't use it anymore. And there was something called, I think it was called I can't remember. econometrics or something like
Okay.
that Valley Leadership down in Phoenix used. And I found that one especially interesting.
Really?
Because it really focused on how you think instead of what your personality type is.
Oh, right. There's a difference.
There's
Yeah.
a huge difference.
Yeah,
And because
really
in
is.
Myers-Briggs, people, you get defined as something, right?
Right.
But in this one, which I can't remember, unfortunately.
Now you've got me really
I
interested.
know.
I'm going to go Google
now
this
I want to
thing.
Google it.
Right.
But it was really about how people think. And so when you do it with your staff, so I actually did this with my staff when I was at the Maine Arts Commission.
Wonderful.
And because I thought it would help the team understand how each other thought
Great
and be
idea.
able to work together better.
Yeah.
So that was kind of part of one of the things that I did when I was there.
No, it's a great idea. I think then people understand why you did react that way.
Right.
Right? You can always go
Right.
back and look and go, oh, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a wonderful thing that you have that. I notice that many times our interests do plug into what we end up doing.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you were and still are an artist, you're still a singer, you've done some artwork, you're also a writer, you're a published writer. All of that art, everything that you do, the dancing, everything, that helps you, doesn't it? In the art community, of course it has to.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I've worked with visual artists for so long now, too. And my mother started dragging me to art shows when I was a tiny tot.
Wonderful.
So I've been involved in the visual arts as well my whole life, and took a lot of art history in college and graduate school.
Beautiful.
So I've always been, I've always loved the visual arts. I actually, would draw a lot and do a lot of scrapbooking and all of that kind of thing when I was a kid. But I got away from it because you had to choose at one point.
Right.
And music was really my thing. So I just pursued music more strongly.
For those of you listening, I know that Julie has a phenomenal voice. And why do I know? Because you came to me a few times for coaching. And I was like,
True.
Excuse me, why aren't you singing? So if anybody out there we have a couple of groups that do sing together. And if you're needing a really great singer, Julie Richard, you know where she is, Sedona Arts Center. I'm just saying, you should be singing. And you did opera.
I miss it.
You did opera.
I did, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm
You must have
classically trained.
You must have some stories.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Come on. Share one. Share one from your opera days.
Oh, Lord.
What was the hardest piece you ever sang? I'm just curious.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you remember
that's
that
a
moment?
Good question.
That moment when you went, oh, my goodness.
Probably. It's from Peer Gynt, the Peer Gynt suite. And I can't remember the name of it either because it was a really long time ago. That was probably the hardest solo I ever sang. It was very high and it was kind of floaty. And but it was really a huge accomplishment, I know, when I nailed it.
Was this in school?
Yeah, that was actually in college.
Wow. And you're a reader? Do you still read?
Read music?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And play? Play piano?
I have a piano and I do play, not as much as I should.
Yes.
I admit.
And singing.
Yeah,
right.
I miss singing.
For sure. I know, you're so good. Oh my gosh. I was so like, wow, does anybody know this about you? No, nobody knows. So what else? What other story from opera?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I have a question.
Okay.
About it. Okay. So do you remember the audition from hell? Everyone has a story like
yes.
that. Tell us.
Oh, God.
Audition from hell
This is
story.
when I really decided that being a professional singer-dancer was not for me. So I was a senior in college, and a group of us, because I was in a touring show choir in college, it was a group of like 24 kids.
Okay.
And it was very elite, and we toured around the state and around the country and did all kinds of things. And
yep, there you go.
sorry, I'm adjusting my mic.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is that better?
It's real life. Just
Okay.
here, I'm going to get up and you keep talking.
Now I lost my train of thought. So anyway, the kids, we would always go auditioning for Disney and, Six Flags and all of those, various and sundry summer deals over the course of the year, closer to the end of the year. And so I was with a group of my colleagues in this touring show choir. We went up to Minneapolis, and it was at the Guthrie Theater.
Ooh.
And I had this song that I, had pretty well, I knew it very well, and I got up on the stage, and nothing came out. I mean, it was just horrible. Like, I just froze, and I would get terrible stage fright. And yeah, that was when I really realized.
Okay,
no,
and unfortunately, you didn't have somebody like me,
right?
Excuse
exactly.
me, but I'm just gonna promote that I work with people on stage fright and how to spin that so you could get back in the saddle right away. Because if you don't, it kind of stays, right?
Yeah,
it's not cool.
And actually, it started when I was in high school. I was at a summer music camp, and I was selected out of like the 3,000 kids in the show choir that was picked also by audition at the summer camp to sing the only solo in our show that we did at the end of the summer camp, and I froze then.
Wow. Okay, so that's where we would have wanted to get you, is right then, when that moment happened. Yeah. Well, okay.
The ugliness is revealed.
The ugliness as the audition from hell. Oh, we all have them, trust me. Believe me, we all have them. So, all right. So you shifted gears, and we're very happy for that. Because it's led you here.
And that's why I got a master's in business and arts administration.
That's really great.
And knew that was probably more my forte. I've always been a little more cerebral, I think, than, somebody who can just like belt a song in the middle of a room kind of person. So that's why I pursued more the business side, and I did it, and I never looked back. I've loved it.
You bring up a good point here. This is another thing. You are interested in the arts, and if maybe you find out that's not really what I wanted to do, but I want to stay in the arts. So you found a way to make it work, and that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So now let's just talk a little bit about the fact that you've won a lot of awards. My goodness. You've got the 21st Century Certificate from Harvard University.
I didn't win that, though. That was...
What was that?
That was actually a course that I took. It was
leadership.
It was a leadership course, and it was really amazing. That was an incredible experience.
And then you also were awarded the Governor's Manager of the Year at the Maine Arts Commission. That's huge. Congratulations.
That was
big.
Pretty neat. Yeah.
Love that. Now, let's talk about Sedona Arts Center.
Okay.
You've had some changes down there. There's been lots of change. Everybody's been talking about everyone's life is changing, but this has been kind of going on, hasn't it? Well, I mean, last year was a huge change.
Yeah, it was. And I think even going back a few years since COVID, things really shut down. And I knew that when I came here, I wanted to connect more to the community. And so everything we've been doing, the greatly expanded exhibits that we do on a monthly basis, although we're going to shift that a little bit next year, is meant to connect more to the community and to be more relevant to the community. We have a huge class and workshop schedule and program. Our gallery is, amazing and caters probably mostly to tourists, but the artists that are in that gallery benefit hugely from the fact that we're there, and they come from mostly Arizona. About 70% of them come from Arizona, and the rest are just from the 5 states that touch Arizona. So, a lot of change there, a lot of growth, a lot of connecting to other communities as well. Because of my former connection down in Phoenix and my COO Bernadette's former connection down in Phoenix, we have kept up some of those relationships, and so we do some things for the city of Goodyear, we do some things for the city of Peoria, and we do some things for the city of Tolleson. And that has also helped us expand our audience and convincing people to come up here.
Wonderful. Love that collaboration. It's a good thing, really good thing. And you have, I have to say, these exhibits that you're bringing in are amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Right now it's the Big Gay Art Show, isn't it? That's been going on.
It's a great exhibit. It really is. And it's so much fun to see new artists coming in, people that we might know for one reason or another coming into our exhibits and having this be their first exhibit. That actually happened a couple of years ago with one of our artists, Jake Henderson. He had his first exhibit through the Big Gay Art Show, and he's now teaching classes for us. and workshops. And also an artist that I met about 3 years ago, actually through an online series of classes that I discovered during COVID. And then I seeked out the teacher of those online classes and brought her here, and she had a huge following. So there's a core group of people from that have really become close. And this particular person went through our SEED program, which is a brand new program that we launched last year with funding from the USDA. And that was designed to help people, artists, figure out the business side of their art so that they could maybe shift and become more successful as an artist.
That is so important. You know, I often hear, I was fortunate. I had a mother in the business. Okay?
Yes.
She was a talent agent. She taught me everything that I know about business, taught me how to contract.
Right.
Most artists don't have a business sense at all. It's like,
No.
I'm an artist, you know, even to get them to accept money is kind of a thing, right? So that's great that you're doing that. And I want to mention that Sedona Arts Center there are definitely opportunities to be a donor there.
Yes.
Super, super, super important, okay? And there's like lots and lots of opportunities, but you've got some things coming up. August 1st, you have an exhibit called Face of Time. Is that correct?
Yes. The theme for this season, which actually starts today, July 1st, because that's the day we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
our theme is called Faces. And so it's about many things, which, you know, face can be a noun or a verb. So we think of a person's actual face or an animal's face or the face of a clock or a watch or the face of a building or a mountain or whatever the case might be. So the face of time is really designed to be however the artist interprets that.
Now, next year, what's next year's theme? And tell us a little, just really quickly, because we've run out of time. Can you believe it?
No way.
I know, right? Events.
That is actually the theme.
That's the
Faces
theme for this year that goes through next year.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. And you've got some events coming up.
We do.
And I'm so thrilled to have you here. Thank you for sharing. We'd have to have you back.
Yeah, I would love to come back.
I mean, this just went
Let's not talk about me next time.
Oh, well, everybody wants to know behind the scenes about Julie Richard. Trust me. We all love you. Thank you for all that you do. If you want to know more information about classes, workshops, events, make sure you go to SedonaArtsCenter.org.
And yes, we are a 501c3.
Yes.
So yes.
Please donate. Lots of grants and programs have gone away.
And it's going to get scarier with the government funding being kind of iffy.
So get your wallets out, okay? Get your checkbooks out if you still have them. Zelle them. Do whatever you have to do, but help them. Remember, SedonaArtsCenter.org. Thank you, Julie, for being here.
Thank you,
Julie
Shondra.
Richard. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now, discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
Take a deep breath, then let it go. At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments. Every moment is designed to restore balance and renew your spirit. Voted Sedona's Best Day Spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com or call 928-282-7502.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineering to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at SeftonEngineeringConsultants.com. Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Dahl Group.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, like I did. Having Julie Richard, the executive director of Sedona Arts Center, and Luke Sefton of Sefton Engineering there. Oh, do you hear that music? You know what that means if you've been listening to Sedona's Backstage Pass. It's time for my shameless Shondra spot. Okay, all right, here it is. We just finished our film shoot. I am so excited. Those of you who've been listening understand that my creative partner, Emmy Award-winning Dev Ross, who wrote the script, and I'm the composer, I wrote the songs, to this wonderful project that we've been working on for the last 6 years, Weird Detention, actually got filmed. I'm so excited. We just finished our 10-day shoot, and I just want to give a big shout out to some of our crew. You know, where are we right now is that we've got our director of photography, Mike Chesworth, who's in Phoenix. He is going to be editing this right now, also with our director, Amy Waddell. Love these two. They're so awesome. And also, I'm working with my arranger who is in Canada because we're going to put the finishing touches on the soundtrack of the 6 songs that I wrote for this film. And he's going to be scoring it. What's scoring? Scoring is all the music that goes underneath the actor's dialogue and also the scene segues and special effects. And he's going to be doing that. Thank you, Chris, if you're listening. Chris Ising, what a talent. That's what's happening. Now, how can you still get involved? Well, you're going to be looking for this movie, Weird Detention. Hopefully it'll be in our International Film Festival at Sedona International Film Festival. I'm so excited about that. But here's how you can really help us. Go visit weirddetention.com. There you can make a donation and you can get a tax deduction for that donation. It goes to help us with post-production, like I mentioned, all of these things that we're doing right now. And you can make that tax deduction, again, on weirddetention.com. You can use PayPal, you can use Zelle if you want to, or you can just find the address of the Artists Forum, who is our fiscal sponsor in New York City. Check them out, by the way, theartistforum.com. They're amazing, incredible. So you could also like and follow our Facebook page, Weird Detention the Movie. And we have YouTube, Weird Detention. You're going to find us everywhere now. There's going to be all kinds of videos that you're going to see that we've posted along the way during this last 10 days. Now, why are we doing this movie? We're making this film, we've made it, and we're finishing it up to give it to any classroom in America who wants it for free, because we want to assist teens to learn how to communicate, get off their phone, and communicate with the intention to help stop the violence before it happens. Weird Detention. Look for it. WeirdDetention.com, Facebook, Weird Detention the Movie, YouTube, Weird Detention, and of course you'll find the GoFundMe link as well to make any kind of donation you want. Thanks, guys. Well, thank you so much to all of you VIPs for being here with me on Sedona's Backstage Pass. Again, today and every Saturday at 10 a.m. Remember, you're going to find me at KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM. You can also find these shows on mellowmountainradio.com. And by the way, at KAZM, that is Mellow Mountain Radio. You listen to them. They're fabulous. Again, 106.5 FM, 780 AM. And I want to thank my sponsors, Sedona Heritage Museum, Sefton Engineering. Thank you, Luke, for being here today with me. Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash, Sedona New Day Spa, and my presenting sponsor, the Doll Group. I also want to thank my engineer and my producer, Ryan Thompson, who, again, I am waving at. I do that every Saturday. And also the station owner, Chuck Helstein. You guys are absolutely fantastic. They're wonderful. Remember, KAZM, Mellow Mountain Radio, 106.5 FM and 780 AM. Now, I want to also thank Julie Richard, who is the executive director of the Sedona Arts Center. Julie, you're awesome. And I want to just kind of correct something, because I realized after Julie got, when we finished up the interview, she actually started her executive directing over at the Sedona Arts Center, I got to get it right, on January 18th, 2021. Not in February. It was in January. Her first day, January 18th, 2021. Just wanted to correct that, because why? I will wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning going, oh my gosh, I got it wrong. So I just have to correct myself there. All right, you guys, get out your VIP pass for next Saturday. And remember, you can always find us here on Saturday at 10 a.m. and also find us on Apple Podcasts and soon Spotify. See you next Saturday.